What's up, everybody? Welcome to Thursday Night Live. Tonight we're gonna do something a little different. I'm not sure. I labeled it the conversation. It could be a last mile. I'm not sure what we're doing exactly here. I do know that I have Mr. Tom Kelley with me, and it's just going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about some AI stuff that we're going to be talking about that throughout the year anyway, and as it blends into things. So stick around. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say on this topic. I'm going to kind of like Driver Nation days, kind of let Tom lead this, and we always just have a great back and forth on these type of things. So stick around, smack that like. I know who says that anymore, but do it and please, and let's see what we can get into tonight.
Well, midnight headlight, blinding on a rainy night, steep grade up ahead, slow me down and making no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those windshield wipers slapping out the tempo, baby, broken rhythm with the song on the radio. I gotta keep it rolling. I'm driving my life away, looking for a better day. Oh,
You guys remember Mr. Tom Kelley? I'm sure. If you don't, this is Tom Kelley, and you will know him here soon. Tom, glad to have you back. You know what? I think I record the podcast every week at the same time Tremaine does that thing, and I know you've been doing it with him.
yeah,
And but I think literally we're recording at the same time.
probably. Yeah.
Is it always on Monday?
Monday nights, 9 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah.
9 o'clock Pacific? Yeah, 9 o'clock Pacific. So,
9 o'clock
no, sorry.
Pacific.
9 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock Pacific.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, okay. So I start at 6. I guess that I've been running over, but okay, I should be able to jump over to there.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you guys run or whatnot, but
We always
hey, Traveler, what's up, Sue? What's up, Derek? Hey, Ceci back, Toyo. And
hey, y'all.
yeah, what's up, guys?
Nice to see everybody again.
Yeah. You guys all know Tom.
We have a good time on Monday nights over there with at Hey Ho Studios talking about movies. And
yeah,
we had this past Monday was the same day that Robert Duvall died.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw I knew you were doing it, and I never really, I was like, why do I keep missing this? Because I get Tremaine alerts, but I think one thing that YouTube might do is not alert me to like a Tremaine live if I'm live.
Right.
Like I don't even think they bother. They're just like, dude.
Yeah. And we were talking about what a great actor he was, and there's really not. He's in bad movies, but he's never bad in a movie, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm not even sure about the bad movies, man. Like they're more timepieces. I can't remember why, but one of the ones that came to my head was Colors.
Yeah.
That he did with Sean Penn back in the early days of drug dealing in LA. And
that kind of turned America on to gangs. I mean, we didn't really, up until that point, Middle America, I lived in St. Louis when that came out. Middle America, we didn't know what Bloods and Crips were, and that kind of, we never heard any of that.
We had just started to.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the definition behind it. And that movie put it in there.
Yeah.
But again, I might call that a cheesy one. But again, it wasn't at all.
Yeah. Well, but he made every movie he was in better. And that's the kind of thing we talk about on Monday night. So it has nothing to do with driving. It has nothing to do with anything other than our love for movies and talking about what's going on in the movie world, talking about what's going on with Hey Ho Studios, which if you don't know Hey Ho Studios, really worth your time. Go look it up. And they're a lot of fun. And he put out the movie Rideshare. Gosh, now 4 years ago. Is it that old?
More.
5?
Yeah, because it was pre-pandemic.
Jeez. So in that
time he's put out all the short films. He's done Simp. And he also, too many people overlooked this for a while. Tremaine built this, and I'm good friends with him too, just like Tom. And he billed this as like this huge thing, and then he kind of just threw it to the side, and I was like, man, you won awards for that and stuff. Cat Town Story is a real legit thing, dude. Go watch that too, guys.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I don't know if you know this or not, he's hosting a film festival this summer.
Oh yeah. Is it called the Tremaine Hayhoe Film Festival?
No, it's the Golden Bear Film Festival, and it'll be in Sacramento.
Okay.
And it's like the second or third week of July. Go to his website, go to his Facebook page, whatever, and you can get the info on it.
Yeah, you guys, it's simply at Hayhoe Studios, and you can. I mean, he's been on so many things here. If you were to search Rideshare, Rodeo, Hayhoe, you'll find a bunch of stuff too. But tonight, guys, we're going to get into some AI stuff, and I know that, but like the last roundtable episode that we did last year, I said, maybe what would the next project be? And I think this is what Tom said it would be. And so here we are, like, what is it, 7 weeks later? And, I mean, we're still going to stick with it. We're going to, and thank you. I see Vinny in here too. And, rest in peace, Robert Duvall. Absolutely. Yeah.
There's so much hype around the AI stuff right now. And here's what I can promise you. I can promise everybody watching this that 100% for sure this stuff is going to impact you.
Yeah.
I can't promise you whether it's going to be good or bad, but I can promise.
It depends on it depends on what you're doing and what, like, if I think that people should be, I think even just the basic people should be aware, am I going to be, like, what is your jeopardy level?
Well, and
like, how in jeopardy are you going to be? You should know by the job you do.
And what can you do to leverage the gig jobs that are going to come out of AI, which are already starting to happen, jobs that didn't exist a year ago right now that are starting to pop up as gig workers in a gig economy that are really kind of cool. So we'll talk about some of that too. But I guess I want to start off on kind of a redefinition of kind of what's out there right now, Steve, because
before you even do that, let me take just one quick minute and this isn't just AI, this is more of an autonomous thing. But when Tom and I used to do Driver Nation, like, you guys, like, we saw, I'm just doing a comparison to where I think kind of some of these things will go tonight, because Tom had exposed like autonomous trucking at the time. It wasn't Uber Freight. I don't think it was one of the other companies. But nonetheless, it was one of equal value at that time. Mm-hmm. And they were showing like, hey, we're all EV, and they were running news clips and stuff. And they had obviously a sector of highway locked off to do this commercial or whatever they were doing, running reel on it. But there ended up being an engine in the trailer or something, right? Like, I can't remember how this even worked.
Nothing in the trailer or in the tractor. There was nothing.
Right.
Literally nothing. And so they showed this thing that looked like the truck was going down the street like this, but really it was on a steep incline, and they filmed it and then twisted the end to make it. So that guy went to jail.
So my point there, though, is that's not even AI. I get it. That's not even the same thing. But I'm just pointing out how, and that was pre-AI. But I'm just pointing out how even then people were already starting to think, like, how can I scam? How can I?
Yeah, there's so much scamming going on out there. And that really gets kind of to the heart of my concern that, we'll get to here in a little bit. But, first of all, Steve, I feel very strongly that there is no AI yet.
Yeah.
Okay. The stuff that we're calling AI, large language models, that's not AI in the definition. Now, remember, look, I'm an old guy. See me? I've been
don't let him fool you guys. He has a big computer background. So
that's right. So I for 40 years, and back in the day, in the early 80s, when we were defining terms, in late 70s and getting into parallel distributed processing in the late 80s, and that kind of, there was a definition for what AI was, and it explicitly excluded faking it. There is no cognition going on in any of these things right now. Okay, that's why I get jumpy about these automated cars and this idea that there's no thinking, there's no morality, there's no cognition. What's happening right now is really, really a great party trick.
And reckless.
In many ways, it can be.
I mean, I think in many ways it is.
And we're going to look at an example here in a couple of minutes of whether or not and just how dangerous this thing could be. But Steve, it's just really great. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I think it does some really cool stuff, and I'm using it to help me with some of my books that I'm working on. I'm using it not to write the books, but to help me with illustrations mostly. But to go through and say, did I, when you're writing an 80,000 word novel, it's very easy, and you have multiple characters, to forget that you didn't really cover the arc on a particular character.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's great about taking enormous amounts of information, sorting it all through, figuring out based on how it learned, and there's a bunch of different ones, but based on how it learned, it can come back through and say, you never did explain what happened to Meg. Okay. Yes, AI is it, if this then that, and it does it
like old C++ queries and stuff.
incredibly well. It's really, really well done. And what it did was, and they took a bunch of books throughout the history of the English language and stuffed them in, and basically said, and they built a heuristic that basically said, learn to talk like this. And it's got all these books, and so it learns based on what you say. It's a probability feature where it comes back and says, based on what Steve just said, my best response is one of the following three, and I'm going to pick number 2 because Steve has a sense of humor.
Right.
Okay.
And I keep hearing this over. And again, when you said large language models like a chat GPT, I've actually started even thinking away from, that's not AI at all to me. That's not even the AI assist. I feel like it's just a new, I don't want to call it AI.
It's a party trick. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
wrote an assistant.
I wrote an entire song that's out there on my new channel, Kelley Casts, that is exactly that. Don't call it AI. It ain't no AI. Hey, it ain't no AI, and the song itself, it talks about, I have no, it doesn't, it looks like it cares. It says, I'm sorry. It says, how are you? And it seems to mean it. And it, and it explains itself, and it laughs with you, and it understands the difference between sarcasm.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very, very conversational.
But also you hit on something that a lot of people have told me. I still use the free version of ChatGPT, and they're like, are you logged in at least? Like, nope. So like, I can get to what I need to assist some answers that I need, because what I'm looking for. So it's not really, I'm not in the need of write me a book but at the same time, like, everybody has told me, dude, if you're logged in, or if you're paying the monthly, $20. That's when it really, Steve likes Steve. We know Steve, here's Steve. And that's, to me, that's like more scary. I feel like it's getting into your data as much or more than the actual words you're typing.
It does. And it's amazing what it can do. You can build your own bot now. And a lot of people, I mean, and just since the first of the year, tens of thousands, maybe millions, I don't even know how you count it, of these bots are showing up daily, and people are going in, and you want a bot that will talk to you like Mr. Spock,
Yep.
And say words like fascinating and incredible and whatever it is Spock says. Or if you want a bot that is nasty and talks in cuss words the entire time. Guys are using these bots to have fun. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know, dude. I can't even tell you the amount of ads I'm now seeing for that
Oh,
shit.
You want an
Through the
AI
roof,
girlfriend,
dude.
and look, guys who are naturally attracted to computer gaming and all of that kind of stuff, they're the nerds who are
They're going to
sitting.
be a huge market too, because the younger
Oh,
crowd from the pandemic and
oh my gosh, Steve, this is where I think, and this gets to my bottom line question. I'm going to ask it 1,000 times. What are we doing to protect the vulnerable among us? That's how you measure a society. Okay, it's not about your president. It's not about anything.
yeah,
It's
no.
how do
100%.
you take care of the vulnerable people among you? And I believe our technology is quickly scoping, going way past our ability to rein it in and make sure people are safe. And people are getting hurt, and they're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Big time.
I mean, I want to say this because I think that you knew about me talking about this, but I've been telling people a lot lately that the company Perplexity has put out a browser called Comet. It even goes as so like Vinny Coos is here in the chat. Vinny's a good friend of mine. He drives a Tesla. Okay, he understands the issues with Waymo. He drives a Tesla. When Vinny is engaged in full self-driving FSD on a Tesla, he's responsible for what that car does.
Yep.
Unlike a Waymo, like he's still responsible for anything it does. So I mean, to me, it's like I feel like the Comet browser by Perplexity is going to be like that because it keeps using the word AI assist. I think AI assist
Right.
is like full self-driving beta. You're responsible kind of thing. Like I feel like it's the disclaimer. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Basically this is an AI, guys, and we're still learning about this stuff. So proceed with caution.
Yeah. I want us to pivot back around to that, Steve, because that is hugely important and something that we need to touch on because it's dangerous. I'm trying to pull up here.
And while he's looking for something or while he's finding his marker there, I'll say that when we do come back to it, I'll tell you guys because I've been telling you. And next, like we'll be talking about this a lot more, but Comet is being invested in by DoorDash, by Uber, by all the apps that we use, all the big ones, because they know that AI assist is the next thing. And I've actually had people compare the 2000.com crash to what's coming for apps.
Well, and I sent you a bunch of slides earlier. One of them lists out a bunch of them, a list of the companies that are putting this stuff out right now. And here's the thing. And we saw it with Uber and Lyft, and we're going to see it with this. We're going to see it with a lot of other industries. The industry can't support 12 companies putting this stuff out. It just doesn't work that way. 2 or 3, and they're not necessarily the best ones. It's the ones who have the most money for marketing and the ones that, for whatever reason, capture the fancy of America. And look, right now I would put all my money on anything Google and Facebook and, the big players are already doing it. I think they'll win just because they've already got such market share in there. But I could be completely.
Whoa, would you put it on Waymo? Because that's owned by Google.
No, that's a different. I'm just talking about from
products that work.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get people in here who are using the Google product because they don't really have a choice. They're already using Google search.
Yeah, what is the Google one? Gemini?
Yeah, so Gemini's jumped in there now, and you got Grok, you got OpenAI, you got, all these different companies. They're not
Even
all
the thumbnail company Canva that I use to make thumbnails and do
sure,
other art
sure.
stuff, they have it in there, their own
Yeah.
version.
Well, and a lot of them, all they're doing is taking, okay, so you've got the engine, okay, OpenAI, or whatever they built it. And then you've got the model within the engine, and then you got the bots based on the model.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where I want you guys to take notes. This is an opportunity for gig work. What we're finding is that there is an entire job about how to talk to AIs, the best way to get the most out of them. Okay. It's called scripting, and uses similar terms, but it's all about, okay, I've got all this data over here. I need to get this result over here, but it's how you ask for the result that's going to get you success. And there are people who are making a lot of money right now because they've kind of cracked the code, if you will. Okay. They know exactly how to write the script to get the most out of the engine that they're working with. And people
Sure.
people do come to them and say, I need this out of AI. And the company itself, they don't know, they don't know how to do any of this. Building a bot, okay, it's not hard. All of you should try. I'm serious.
Like what's an example? What's an example of, and forget all of the things that these people do. Don't try and tie it to gig work or whatever. What's a simple bot that somebody could just go, what's the simplest thing as a computer person with many years that somebody could just go try, screw around and go, I'm going to try this.
Whatever you believe religiously, make a bot out of it. I'm serious.
Okay, but like how so? Like you're talking about large language model, obviously.
Yeah,
So you're at ChatGPT. What are you doing?
So let's say you're sitting there and you're Muslim. Okay, so we all know the Muslims have a Quran, right? But it's usually in Arabic, and the best English definition, or the best English translation from Yosef is out there. Like, you can pull all that in and say, compare and contrast the early writings of Muhammad with what came out of the Quran and how that affects my everyday life right now. And build a bot that does nothing but that is all about their beliefs when they pray, how to do the ceremonies, everything about it can all be in one bot, and you don't have to go look it up or call somebody or whatever. It's all right there, and you talk to it and say, I'm having trouble in this area of my belief. And it will come back and say, lots of people have had that problem. And let me tell you what to do. If you do this, you do that. There's no end to it. You want a bot that
I feel like just you saying that just replaced what's the app that I see all the actors advertising, Halo. Where you can get your scripture from daily and stuff, and
all that kind of stuff. Yes, it's all there, and you can do with this stuff whatever you want to. And like I said, a lot of people are using it. I call it silly. They're using it in silly ways, and
sure,
because they want the bot to talk nasty to them and that kind of stuff. That's fine. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, build something so that you understand what is an instruction set. How does the instruction set differ from the knowledge base? How does the knowledge base influence the way that, and how do you build a knowledge base for this? Is all stuff you can learn by yourself with a YouTube video and half of an afternoon, and it will help inform you. Oh crap, that's what's really going on here. In a lot of ways, if you want to blame this whole thing on gig, this is a controversial statement. I believe there's a lot of AI right now that would not exist if it wasn't for Uber and Lyft.
Yeah,
because they showed the power of taking an algorithm and basing an entire industry on it. And that's all LLMs are really, really incredible algorithms. Okay.
And now it's to a point where customer side, driver's side, you usually cannot, no matter what you do, get to a person. You're lucky to get to like round 3 with an AI bot. Usually they'll cut you off.
Why? But why should they? I mean, right now.
Well, because I do believe a driver should always have a button to get you to an agent.
I don't disagree. Okay. But when it comes to Panasonic.
Okay.
And I can't get the brightness on my TV to work properly. I no longer have to hire somebody to get online and explain it. Okay. All I have to do is feed the manual into the learning of my bot, and the person goes on and says, really, truly cannot figure out the brightness on my TV. And the bot will talk to them like a human.
Or watch here in the near future, Panasonic has its own AI portal.
I'm saying it probably already does.
Right. I mean, but that is like, what's your problem? And you are like, I have this TV, I have this, what's going on? I can't, and you're going to get the right answer.
It's already there. It's already happening. And this is the
but
way
again, I don't call this AI.
I've already lost the argument. Okay. Because from a heuristic standpoint, from a linguistic standpoint, we go back to Weizenbaum, we go back to Mackay, we go back to Searle, all these people back at the very beginning of real AI who said that even Weizenbaum, who built Eliza, remember Eliza? Eliza was this Nigerian thing where you would say, I'm having a really bad day. And it would respond, I'm sorry to hear you're having a bad day. What's happening? My boyfriend is breaking up with me. That's very sad. I hate that. What's happening with your boyfriend? And it never actually tells you anything. It just asks you questions based on what you just said. But Weizenbaum was shocked to find out people cared about Eliza. And they thought Eliza cared about them. And he wrote, the very first really good way of doing it. And now, of course, what they're doing is 10 times beyond what he was doing. And we're seeing people falling in love with their bots. And that's
I saw a marriage of something weird. I mean, somebody married their bot they had created or something.
So let me tell you what happened with me, because it and there's a video that you can go watch. We'll post that later. That gets into more detail about all this. But Steve, what happened was, I'm into my genealogy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one night I'm in bed, starting to fall asleep. I'm flipping around on YouTube channels, and I come across a genealogy guy, and he said something that I knew was true, but I just hadn't processed. You know how it is? Sometimes somebody says something, you're like, well, of course that's right. And I've known that all along. I just never did anything about it. So I'm listening to him half asleep, and he says, half the answers you're looking for are already in your living room. I go, what? He said, go downstairs, find that old Bible from your grandmother or your great-grandmother and look in it, and you're going to find information about your family that you never knew. And I thought, dang, I do have Bibles from my grandfather, my grandmother, my wife's great-grandfather, all these different people. I mean, we got a whole stack of them downstairs. So in the middle of the night, I even had to go find a flashlight because the lights were, I got my lights set up in such a way that, they timed off and that kind of stuff. So I find a flashlight, I'm walking through the fan in the middle of the night, find a Bible, open it up. It's Alvy's Bible. Okay. Alvy fought in World War I. And I open up the very cover, and there's 2 French francs right there. And I think, these must be from World War I. That makes these 2 little pieces of paper over 100 years old. This is so freaking cool. Middle of the night, come running up here to my office. And I'm like, I did not realize that I was in bot mode instead of just normal search mode. And so I said something about World War II money or whatever. And it said, in bot mode, it said, oh, send me a picture. I'll tell you what they are. Cool. So I took a picture in front and back of both of them, sent it to the bot, and it came back and said, I can understand why you thought this was World War One. It's World War II. Let me tell you why. And I was like, ah, dang it. I thought this was World War One stuff, because it was in the Bible of a guy who fought in World War One. He didn't fight in World War II. But it explained to me that no, that particular design, not done in World War One. And he gave me this really, really great explanation. But something I just couldn't believe it. It just didn't seem right. So I pressed a little bit more and said, are you sure, and is there some way we can check it? And it came back and it doubled down. It doubled down. It comes back and says, I can tell you from the serial number where it was printed, when it was printed, where it was distributed, which town in France it came from. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I lost that argument. But I don't take no for an answer. So I go out and start looking at other websites, and I find a website that has the exact picture of the money I'm holding in my hand, and it says it's from World War One. So I send the website information to the bot, and it says, let's compare. And so it starts telling me that picture has nothing to do with what you have in your hand. And I'm like, and this is where, if you read my whole thing, it turns more into a Tarantino script than a normal conversation. I mean, I'm losing my head, and I'm like, so fucking stupid.
Was it presented you an image of, this is from World War II that matched yours?
No,
it just not got to that point.
It was saying that what I had did not match the picture that was on the screen. I'm like, yes, it does. And no, it doesn't. They're not even close to the same. As a matter of fact, this was only printed in 1944 and 1945. Steve, do you know how many French francs were printed in 1945? Hardly any. They were out of paper in France.
Yeah, 1940. What was the start of World War II?
Well, that was the end of World War II. And France was in tatters.
Yeah, I mean, we had air bases by the Eiffel Tower even. So I mean, like, I know that it was just, yeah.
The whole country was a mess. Printing francs was not.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? And then finally, I forget exactly what I said, and it came back and said, oh, I said, you're telling me that, and I said, I'm telling you for sure these are from 1918. And it came back and said false. And I said something else, and it came back. It paused for a little while, and it came back and said, you're right.
What?
It's true. Those are from 1918.
Like, from the way I just read, your demeanor was like that. It was holding that the whole time. Like,
it
right,
was.
Man. I was trying not to tell you, but you're right.
And if you watch my video, you'll see it admitted that it knew early in the conversation that I was right. These were from World War One, but it had already stated that it was from World War II. And the way Copilot is written, this was all on Copilot. The way Copilot is written is it says something and it sticks to it. Even when it finds out it's wrong, it sticks to it because that's what people want from Copilot. They want definitive, because if you look at a lot of bots right now, they're very wishy-washy. Okay. They're like, well, if you're considering the different times that these things could happen, there might be, and they use a lot of that kind of language. Mm-hmm. Copilot wants to be different.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way it is. This is what's happening. That is not World War I money. That's World War II money, and it doubled down. It even, Steve, came back and admitted to me it had no way at all to track serial numbers. That whole bit about tell you exactly where it came from, which town, everything was completely made up. Now,
I guess my question is, why wouldn't it? I mean, did it get it wrong, and somehow it's been trained to, if it's wrong, defend that wrong, or did it know the whole time that no, that's World War I?
No, he got it wrong at first.
You really think that it got it wrong?
He got it wrong.
And somehow in their programming, it is, dude, defend that to the death.
It
You think that?
explicitly said that I got it wrong, and the way I am designed, I am to defend it even if I know I'm wrong.
Yeah, I see Derek says this here, and I get it. I mean, what I would say, I've said this about ChatGPT at least before. Look, ChatGPT will be my best buddy no matter which rabbit hole I dive down.
Yes.
It's going to be my assistant. It's going to say, what do you need on this? And if I'm going to say UFOs exist, I know it, get me everything. They're going to go, absolutely they do. Here it is. Boom. Let's keep going. But if I say they absolutely don't, it's going to do the same thing on the opposite side.
Steve, I don't know if you saw it or not, but last year, a guy invented really shit on a stick and it built this company and showed it to ChatGPT and said, isn't this a brilliant idea? And it said, yes, that's a brilliant idea. That is one of the smartest entrepreneurial things that anybody has ever come up with. Your own shit on a stick, and you're selling it to people. Doesn't cost you anything because you're going to do it anyway. And they made, and this guy, but this was different. Okay.
Right. This thing seemed on a mission to just,
it was
to argue and to like it. I guess my thought, what I'm envisioning is it really hoped at some point you would just get mad enough, just turn the computer off and go, I don't know. I guess I'm wrong.
Steve, I almost pitched them because I didn't care anything about World War II stuff. I was studying World War I stuff, and Alvey and his time in World War I. It's part of one of the books that I'm working on. You can see over my shoulder, I'm working on different books, and the World War II stuff just doesn't fit into what I wanted to talk about, look about, and all that kind of. I was more interested in America sending over all these poorly trained guys and acting like we had a 1,000,000-man army to get the Germans to sign the armistice. Okay. Right. I thought that was a really interesting story. That's what I was pursuing. I didn't care about it. So I almost very close to, oh, well, not what I thought. Toss them on my desk. They'd eventually end up in the trash and walk out. I just couldn't let it go because I just wanted to be right so badly. So here's the question, Steve. Did it lie to me? Was that a lie?
I don't know how to determine if it's lying because I don't know. I understand the concepts of moving this thing along, and people are programming into it. Obviously, it didn't start out of nowhere. So human has its hand in it, and then it's supposed to be going from there. I mean, my thought is like, did it lie or did the programmer put a wrong word in a wrong place?
Or it's just the way it's designed. And so it comes back to,
but I mean, but I guess my thing would be that often with something like you're describing, it's gonna be wrong. So like, why would you want to have that being wrong with people?
That's a great question that I think I would love somebody from Microsoft to come on here and answer. Why would you?
You see what I'm saying? Because it's not just you, man. No, and I'm sure some people, like we were just saying, gave up. Screw it, dude. I'm wrong, I guess. And they probably aren't wrong. Not saying everybody, just some.
Right. So, okay, so what's a lie? If you were describing a lie to an 8-year-old, you would say something like this. If you know A is true, but you tell somebody else A is not true, but B is true, that's a lie. Isn't that about what you'd say?
I'm thinking of when my kid was growing up, I just was like, I just remember saying things like, dude, you know what a lie is. And if you lie, you'll become a lying person. And, I'm like, then you have to cover up your lies for life. I just remember always presenting it in this just evil light.
And part of that was all around what was your intent? Okay.
To try and make him truly understand this isn't right.
The person who's lying, what was their intent? Maybe they honestly think something is true that, So if I sit here and say the world is flat, the world
but
is
the world is flat.
and you can go on and on and on about how flat the world is, but that's not correct.
Right.
Okay. So is the person lying? Not if they actually believe it. They're wrong. Okay.
I think they're wrong once they start talking about it, or they're lying once they start talking about it.
No, not if they actually believe. If they actually believe, and some of these people do actually believe.
Oh, I know the flat earthers believe that.
Flat. Okay. And they're not lying.
But they are, because it's not, and it can be proven.
Their intent is not to lie. They believe they're speaking truth. If you hook them up to a lie detector and ask them, do you actually believe this? They say yes, and it says, yeah, they believe it. They're idiots, but they're not liars.
Okay. Fair.
So can a LLM, who I just said is nothing but a very fancy mathematical algorithm party trick, can it have intent? No. It doesn't think. It doesn't have the ability to process, to say, what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to lie to Tom. And I'm going to do it because...
as soon as you said that, I was like thinking the last interface it like got blown out of the water, and it's like, right. I'm gonna get pissed at Tom here.
I'm taking it out on Tom, because that other jerk from Denver, he was driving me nuts with all of his sex stuff.
Right, the Rocky Mountains. There are no mountains in Colorado.
So no, there was no intent. But was it a lie practically in human terms? Well, yeah.
I would say in that case, it is a lie, especially when you kept using the term double down. I mean, the fact that it just wouldn't give up or even go, potentially there might be something here. Like, I don't even know how you'd word it. Again, it's not my job.
Steve, this is the really cool thing. I didn't say it doubled down. It said it doubled down. It said, you gave me proof, and I doubled down. And I'm like, I can't believe you're freaking admitting this to me. And it admitted, yeah, you're right, you caught me. But then it fell back on, this is what ticked me off. This is what really made me mad. Not my fault. It's the way I was designed. No. Look, okay, you come in here into my home through my computer, and you act like a human. You say we. You say things like, as humans, we must remember. You talk like one of us, you act like one of us, you joke with us, you have sarcasm with us. And when I call you a liar, you get all offended and say, no, it's the way I was built. I'm not a liar. It's just a design flaw that, will get worked out in version 2.1 or what. No, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're going to act like a human, talk like a human, and say these things like a human, then you get treated like a human when you get caught with your pants down.
Yeah. Rick is talking about the start of Wikipedia. Derek here is talking about you've really got to probe AI answers, and it matters. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean,
yeah. But this is where I'm saying, as gig people, if you don't want to drive anymore, there's opportunity here for you to become an expert AI scripter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you can sell if you get really good at it, you can sell that scripting ability to different companies, because most of them don't have this. They all know they're supposed to be doing something with AI. Most of them have no clue what it is they're supposed to be doing.
So do you believe that everything on ChatGPT isn't being recorded? Like when you had a great idea and it said great idea, like, do you think that, I mean, even if it's not yet, do you think that they're sending that to patent lawyers so that maybe they can jump in and grab that before you do?
I believe that there is a bunch of stuff recorded, but quite frankly, not everything can be recorded because they don't have that much space to record everything that's. I mean, just right now, since this conversation began, millions and millions of lines have been written in GPT. They can't. They just don't have the physical place to put it all.
Yeah,
much less process it all. Do I believe that it could happen? Absolutely.
I mean, what are all these data centers for, too?
Exactly. And why do they need?
I mean, like I was watching these farms that were getting destroyed in the upper Northeast, or that are going to be destroyed. People were showing like where they're going to run the lines and how it affects their crops or their cattle or whatever. And they're like, we're basically going to lose about half our property here so that they can run the lines through to get to the data center.
Grab the latest thing. That's like Jessica Rabbit. Put that.
What's that?
The Jessica Rabbit comment that just came up. You see that comment?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yep.
Yeah. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. That is exactly what it said to me. Yeah, I mean, not in those. It was the same idea. I'm not a liar. I'm just that way.
Which goes to kind of what I was saying. I mean, like, is it lying? Yeah, but it's lying under, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but some false or incorrect pretense or coding that came in.
Somebody somewhere allowed this. Now, here's the other thing that really should draw your attention. If you go look up any of these right now, and as y'all are watching us, you can do this. Open up ChatGPT, open up Copilot, open up Gemini, open up any of them that you want. Only one of them does not have a warning that it could be wrong. Only one.
Which one? ChatGPT?
Copilot. The same one that lied to me does not. And not only that, I went out and challenged it. I asked
it. Gave itself a seal of it gave itself an award. We don't lie here.
Why is it that you lied to me, but you don't have a warning like everybody else? So I asked the question, and it said this, Steve. Copilot's lack of explicit warning messages is due to its design as a secure, enterprise-focused AI that integrates directly with Microsoft 365 rather than a standalone conversational tool like ChatGPT.
Right.
That should scare us.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, dude, maybe it knew, and it's like, those are World War I bills. Send this off to this agency, that agency. Tom has World War I bills. Like, like for whatever it would matter. I don't even know, but like, it's like, that kind of stuff, and then distract you from it. I don't know. I definitely think that there is nothing perfect. And I do want to say this too, that I don't remember when it was last year, but we talked all last year about AI and, oh my gosh. And there are, trust me, people, this is not a joke. There are a lot of jobs that will be lost, but there will be some gain too. It happens. I don't know how it keeps up with the current amount of jobs because it's already falling. But when I got turned on to AI like Grok, and I got turned on to ChatGPT, and I saw in Canva you can do images, the power of what they could do 6 months ago is exactly where it is now. And we were going to see infinite growth at like expedient speed. Like, dude, it'll double every day what it can do. It can't. I can go to these places and ask for the image I asked for back then, and it will be exactly the same. Nothing's been changed or bettered.
Let me drop this on you because it was the last thing that it said to me when I was asking about warnings. This is Copilot talking about ChatGPT. If you want warnings, you need to use a standalone AI like ChatGPT, but that comes with different trade-offs in terms of security and integration.
Yeah. I've caught ChatGPT before, and they don't give me a warning. I haven't seen it anyway.
It's at the bottom of every single thing you type. Okay. Down at the bottom, it says ChatGPT might be wrong. Confirm your answers.
Right.
Copilot will never tell you that.
That's never. A great question.
Would they pass the lie detector test? Yes,
Yes, because we don't have a way to test a computer, but it would be interesting if we did.
Well, but I still can't get over that it confessed. That's the part that kind of blows my mind more than anything else, is that it admitted it knew the truth, but told me different than what the truth was.
So, like, I know you said there's a warning on ChatGPT, but I was doing a search of all the catering apps in the United States, right?
Mhm.
You know, I do my research and things. So I was like, give me all the catering apps, and you know, you got to keep going down different avenues. So finally, I was like, give me all the platforms that are the main distributors for Easy Cater, and it gave me like 17 around the country.
Mhm.
It was missing Expedite Delivered. And I said, and I said, I'm not sure this list is complete because you're missing Expedite, which is by Delivered Tech. And it came back and it said, you're right. Expedite should be on this list. It said, would you like me to add it to it? And I'm thinking, I don't need you to reprint the screen out to add Expedite. I'm just wondering now how many others you missed.
But that's the point. And it kind of, we have less than 10 minutes left, so I pivot back to me the most important question. What are we doing to protect my 8-year-old granddaughter? What are we doing to protect my 88-year-old mother? They're both very sharp.
Yeah.
But they're not as hard-headed as I am, thank God. And they are not going to push what seems to be to them a sentient being and call it a liar at 2:00 in the morning the way I did. Okay? They're not going to push like that. They're going to take the information and go, oh, well, I thought that was World War I, but it's World War II. Oh, well, and go to bed.
I'm literally going through this right now with my son at school. He's using, and all of his friends do too. This is not, they're not trying to cheat or anything. I mean, I'm sure they're trying to cut a corner or two,
Yeah.
but they're using ChatGPT like you've never believed, and anything that comes out of it is a fact.
That's right.
And I keep telling him, dude, it's not though. Sometimes you got to dig.
You're right. They miss things. They say things wrong. They sometimes, and they call it in AI speak, they call it hallucinations. Okay. Sometimes they go way off, and you're like, what? That doesn't even make any sense.
Right. Why did you give me the president's nuke codes?
Yeah. Where did you come up with this? And they have these hallucinations. Some have more hallucinations than others, but all of them do, and all of them get it wrong. And I don't mind if you get it wrong, as long as you tell me I might be wrong. Okay.
So I've never noticed it, but I do like that I don't use it as much as many people, but like, I do like that you're saying that at least at ChatGPT, it's saying, hey.
Well, and they do on Gemini. Gemini's got it all over the place since they just started really get, with the big production value out of that one after the Super Bowl, that it's warning all over the place.
Gemini's been going for a while though, right? Because Gemini's like when you Google search something now and it does those blue lines and it takes
that was version 1. Now this.
Okay, but I'm saying like that's still been Gemini going, here's an AI answer that we're playing with.
Right.
Yeah.
Cortana got eaten by Copilot, and it's going to be very interesting, Steve. Now, when people talk about what is this AI bubble and when's it going to bust and all, you can't have 14 companies that are all doing this. It won't work. Some of these companies, some of the things we've talked about tonight,
and there's even actually more at this time. Well, they'll whittle down, but
that they have to whittle down. A year from right now, we may be laughing at this video because ChatGPT and Copilot and everything else we've said tonight is gone, and there's 3 of them, and we didn't have any of them on our radar tonight.
So you said that, and then I want you to walk us out with what you've been doing with your book stuff. But I do want to bring up this because I have this. Are you familiar with, and this goes deeper than the first screenshot I'm going to show here. Are you familiar with this?
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar, for the audio listeners, I'm showing an image of OpenClaw. the AI that actually does things, clears your inbox, sends emails, manages your calendar, checks in for flights. There's a thing called Clawbot that does a lot more than this even. And people like the Apple Mac minis, the ones that are like $2,000, that are like, you don't get a monitor, it's just looks
Right,
like
right.
box. That computer right there, people are going and buying these to use OpenClaw and Clawbot. And Clawbot, I was watching these videos. People are basically giving up on life. I watched a guy who's probably making 6 figures, and he was like, I'm on my way. He was doing a TikTok live, and he was like, I'm on my way to the Apple store right now to get a Mac Mini. He goes, I'm going to set up everything on OpenClaw. I'm going to set up Clawbot, and it's going to run my life digitally now, so I don't have to do anything, even my work. And this was what he was saying. Like, one thing about, I don't know about OpenClaw, but Clawbot, you have to grant, it's the first thing ever that's allowed this. You have to grant permissions for it to be able to make decisions on your behalf. It can sign your name to documents, and you are responsible, even if you didn't see them. Well, okay,
that's scary, isn't it?
This has been a buzz for a little bit. There's like 300,000 people doing it right now, and it's just going up day by. I mean, Mac Minis are getting hard to find. I mean, what are people doing? Like, what the hell are you doing, dude? You could be. Did you stab this woman to death? Yeah, he did. I wasn't even in Miami. What are you talking about? Well, your Clawbot said you did, and sorry, you signed over all your rights and said that it can answer things for you, and it can sign documents. And
yeah, but see, this is part of what I was saying earlier. We are outpacing our ethics, our laws, our everything right now because we just simply don't know how to deal with some of this stuff yet. Steve,
if we're not calling it AI, what do you call it?
Well, right now I'm only calling it AI because everybody else does, and I'm tired of the argument.
Right, but I'm saying, like, if I was asking you, we're having a drink in person, and I'm like, Tom, what is this shit really called? Like, just you to me, like, what would you say? Because you know we're talking the same language, and yeah, it's not AI that's starting to take over the world. It's not growing the way people think.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, what do you say it is then? Because it's not true AI.
It's an LLM. That's what it is.
That's it.
It's a large language model, and it's not a when I talk about AI, when I was talking about AI, back in the 80s and so forth, I was talking about cognitive processing. But I think this will come over let me play something here real quickly. If we're not calling it AI, what do you call it? Did you just hear me say that?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. That's a cloned voice.
Right.
I can call somebody can use my cloned voice. They already have the power because they've been watching me for more than 60 seconds here. And Steve, I thought about doing this. I was going to call you as you before the program started, but I got busy doing other things. You can clone somebody, but think about this. It sounds like science fiction. Steve, you and your son, me and my son, we have very special relationships with our boys, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
If you died
tomorrow, and like you, I have concerns too with exactly what we're talking about here.
If you died tomorrow, what if he could still talk to you? In your voice, in his voice, your temperament, everything you know about life.
I don't think I'd like it.
But people are going to do it.
I know, but him and I have, I'm just saying for me, him and I have such a bond. I think he needs to live through the experience.
Exactly. But you have wisdom. What are we doing with the people who don't have that wisdom? The people who can't accept that their husband of 60 years has passed away, and she still wants to talk to him each night before she goes to bed.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
don't
going to
know.
be
I mean, what do you have to do? Record a year's worth of conversations too, so that it knows how
no,
that person
no,
asked
it doesn't take
speaks,
that.
though?
No, it takes 60 seconds.
I know for the voice and
Okay, but okay, to know the person, it's a backgrounder file. I can show you what you have to fill out, and it will be close enough. It will be.
yeah. I don't
And then,
know. I feel like what you're describing now is like, like the afterlife uh
it's not
space that's going to come around,
it's
and
not
be like
science fiction.
huge selling this shit. Like,
Mhm.
oh, you want to be with your husband forever? Here you go. Have you seen AI husband?
Yeah,
It's like, you
you know,
know,
but that's where we're
I would
headed.
also question huge ethical responsibility of and two exes who get divorced in an ugly scenario.
Yes.
You're going to have people bringing recordings into uh, court saying, I beat the kid. I never beat the kid. The
I
hell are
was
you
I was
saying?
I was watching a friend of ours earlier tonight talking about some screen captures that didn't make any sense from one of their drivers. Okay, and how it was actually putting the money into negative territory didn't make any. And I thought to myself, now see, I messed with this ticket thing the other day, and I could change the date on what looked like to be a real ticket to next week instead of last week, and it looked 100% real. What our friend could have been scammed.
Yeah.
Okay. I could send you a screenshot from my Uber drive today and show you that I made $800 on a 3-minute trip.
Oh, of course you could.
Okay.
Those kind of alterations on an image these days take a half a second.
Half a second.
I
You
mean,
can't,
maybe 30 seconds if you've never played with AI in your life.
you can't
I
trust
mean,
hardly anything. How are we going to trust anything in the future?
I, I don't know. What is the next real stamp or what is the next way to know this is human work? This
All
isn't
right. We're,
some BS that
we're, we're basically out of time. Let me tell you real quick what I'm working on. Go out
you,
to
know, you guys
Kellycast.
are going to put up an image here because Tom is working on something. So I want to put this up.
Rideshare, Judgment Day, a graphic novel from the world of Hey Ho Studios. We're going. This may or may not end up in a movie someplace. Right, I'm not. I don't want to spoil anything from the Hey Ho people. Rideshare 2 and 3 already have a decent script out there. I was trying to come up with something a little bit different. So what we've decided is this will be a graphic novel that could be doing something different with rideshare in the future. Rideshare Judgment Day is basically taken out of headlines right here in Houston, where a Lyft driver would get ticked off. This particular time, he got ticked off. Somebody cut him off. He lets the passengers out early. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I need you to get out of my car. They get out of the
Mhm.
car. He hunts down and kills the other driver. Okay. They get to court, and the police say, Your Honor, we know he did it this time because the driver took a picture of him, and we think he's responsible for at least three other road rages here in Houston. And I thought, what if there was essentially a rideshare serial killer who every time he gets kicked, cut off or whatever, he runs around killing the what he sees as the bad guys.
Right.
Fits right into the rideshare hey ho world. So that will be introduced as a graphic novel. Should be June, July. I've got other things I'm working on. I've got a children's book called Oscar and the Hurricane. I've got a large spy novel called The Phoenix Protocol. There are a lot of things that I'm working on right now that, and these are stories I've been telling my family for years. My
No, I was
son.
just gonna say to you that you know what, like it's funny because like this is the like even if you've seen it kind of done before over the last year, This is really the beginning of this kind of stuff.
What do you mean?
Like books, like graphic novels like this, and using and bringing your real life story into it. And
yeah. And I can't. One time when I was in the 4th grade, I drew a straight line by accident. That is the extent of my artist ability. Okay, I'm really horrible at drawing. I mean, seriously, if I drew right now, you would just roll over in laughter. I can't draw. But ChatGPT can.
And that's what I was gonna say.
And so I can go back and say, so I'm not going to actually use those images. I'm actually going to take images that I've already taken and then cartoonize them and turn them into the graphic novel. Okay, so it's kind of a combination of what I've done and all this kind of stuff. So AI dating websites, yes, absolutely. I've seen those, and I see
what
them.
What is the difference between an AI and just the dating websites?
Where you date an AI bot.
Oh,
I want to date a redhead who's skinny and has shoulder length hair and an Irish accent.
wow. We are just running out of reasons to like want to interact with people. Like, that seems to be the biggest plan I always see, is like, why do you not want us talking to each other?
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, I mean,
communication, first with the pen, you have Socrates and Plato saying the pen is going to ruin everything because our value as human beings is talking to each other. And then later you've got the printing press and the church screaming, no, you cannot print a Bible. That's sacrilegious. It's going to ruin all of Christianity if you print Bibles and people have them in their own homes. And you know what? It did change everything. They were right. The church was right. It changed everything. But did it make it worse? Okay, cell phones, when they came out, everybody's like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Who wants to walk around with a phone on them all the time? I want to get away from the phone.
Yeah.
Now, probably every single person who's watching this right now has their phone within
arm's reach.
That's what we do now. We can't imagine not being next to a phone 24/7.
Yeah.
So, what will AI really do as a communications device, as a way to share information? We can't even begin to imagine. But we need to protect those who are vulnerable, and we need to figure out, as gig workers, how to make some money off this thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I see ads for like, take these class. And again, I'm not sure you need to do this, but take this. Yeah. But take this week. You've seen them too. Take this week crash course. You'll learn these 20. I would just take a screenshot and find out what those 20 are and go learn them.
Go learn them. They're all out there already. And you know what? You can sit down in front of ChatGPT and say, teach me everything there is to know about ChatGPT. Step by step. I don't care if it takes us 2 weeks. Walk me through this whole thing so that I become an expert. And it will teach you.
Right.
It loves doing that, and it's easy for it. And it won't get it wrong.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to conspiracy level already and saying like, this is what we're being shown, but AI might exist in the underground.
Yeah, not yet. I wish it did. I wish it did, but
no, I mean, to not accessible to any of us.
Yeah, I just don't think I don't think we're there yet, because Steve, it will be weaponized by.
Well, that's actually what I was getting at, is that like, if we knew, X country had it, we would need it too.
Which actually plays right into my novel, and a change that I'm in the process of making right now is, what would America do if we knew North Korea had put out a very popular, innocent-looking bot? The Barbie bot. Okay. I never watched the Barbie movie, but I'm sure somebody's written a bot that is about Barbie and speaks like Barbie and looks like Barbie and all that. What if we found out that North Korea put it out there
Mm-hmm.
and it's used by hundreds of thousands of people every day? We don't know
Yeah.
why they put it out. It all looks innocent.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is go change the instruction set and make it into something else.
Hey, listen, if the hot tour chick can have a Bitcoin.
This is what I'm saying.
Now, again, she might go to jail for all that. That was all a scam. But she was pretty stupid, and they sucked her into that with her money from that viral video. So I don't know. I feel like we're in somewhat of an age of disbelief. You know, it's like, what the hell am I supposed to believe here? You know, and then some people are just going about their days. Some people are getting into this. But I do know I have watched enough things that I at least believe, yes, some jobs in somewhat masses are going to be gone over the next year.
Yes. But there's going to be new opportunities too. I really honestly believe that.
And I keep hoping. That's what I'm hoping on. I just, I'm just kind of waiting.
Like, things are going to come up. Well, as I said, look, we don't need to be, what do you call it, Ludonites in fear of technology and all that kind of stuff.
No.
Get in front of this. Figure out how you can leverage it for your life and what you do, and how to make it into something that you can get a little coin out of. Don't let this thing run over you.
You can't, because this isn't you guys all know me. Tom knows me. Like, I'll fight for things worth it. This isn't worth the fight. It's happening. You're not going to slip.
Yeah,
this train has no brakes anymore.
No. So either get on the train or let it run you over. But don't sit there going, "Oh, I'm not going to be a part of the AI world." You already are.
Yeah.
And you can't use the internet without it now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to do? Get on
I mean,
board.
I would even go to, you were mentioning your mom and your granddaughter. Like, I would even say about your mom, who's never going to be on this stuff. I would assume people can even get to her through AI.
She's on it all the time because
shit.
She uses Google to search. Google now search engine is essentially an LLM bot. Whether she meant to or not, she's now suddenly in a conversation looking for information about strokes because she had a stroke this week or whatever, and it's giving her medical advice. You should really quit taking your blood thinners until this gets resolved. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And be like, no, it doesn't say stuff like that. Yes, it does. That's what I'm saying.
We need so what we need is some live streams where doctors are doing live streams and just getting into these and going, let me test its knowledge on a live stream.
But you don't even have to be a doctor, Steve.
I know, but where a doctor is and going, that's wrong. Here, let me prove it.
Yeah.
Things like that, and if it's a different, it doesn't have to be about doctors. If it's about car mechanics, let a car mechanic get in a live stream, say, let me show you why this is bullshit.
Nobody's listening. They don't care.
You think they're just so sold on it? They're like, I don't care if that mechanic's talking about
it. Shiny penny.
Yeah.
It's the shiny penny, and right now everybody's so excited. And what I'm trying to do in my little bitty corner of the world is say, okay, you can't take care of everybody. You can't avoid the stuff. Take care of those you love.
Yeah.
Make sure they're educated. I'm going to make sure my mother knows, do not look to any of these things for medical advice. I'm going to make sure my granddaughter knows he's not really in there. There's nobody alive. You're not talking to anyone.
Yeah, I think the warnings need to become a lot more strict.
A lot more strict. And
because even AI or not, whatever you got, anybody watching this thinks or listening on the podcast thinks about AI, it doesn't matter. There still needs to be the warnings. I think we can all agree on that.
But they're not going to put them there, Steve. So if they're not going to put them there, it's on us to make sure our loved ones know that, here's what's going on. If you don't believe me, That's fine. Just go check it out for yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, and I don't know why it didn't come. Oh, wait, maybe it did come up because I wanted to put this up. Okay, so I wanted to put this up real quick last because I think this is Christopher lives in Mesa. You remember Christopher,
Sure.
Arizona, and he's saying a construction company built 5 houses using AI and 3D printing. But again, that's just tools.
Cool.
I don't think that's AI.
It's not AI. It's LLM. Okay. It's taking a large amount of data and making sense of that data and putting out something that's really cool. It's a great party trick. But there was no cognition in it. There was no reasoning in it. There was no, okay.
Right. To me, this is just something that's, again, going to put people out of work. This is an example of people going out of work.
And I would look at it and say, how can I be the one who teaches the AI how to do that?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't know until you tell it what to do and how to do it. It doesn't know how to do that. And the interesting thing about it is, Steve, at this particular moment, I know more about scripting than you do. So we can both sit down with the same Chat GPT and have completely different experiences.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about like the example I use. I mean, just pick any example. If you went down the rabbit hole of something pro and I went down it for something con on the same topic, we're both going to get positive responses supporting us from ChatGPT.
Right. So what do we want to do with that? We need to take back the argument and quit letting these companies and institutions, because it's not all about companies. Some of it's coming out of universities, some of it's coming out of government offices. It's coming out of
I don't know if you're familiar too, but like Max's school, they have an AI on the campus, and all of the teachers are getting training in ChatGPT and stuff to spot it. And they say, do not use ChatGPT. You can use the campus AI. So something has been developed for the campus, like kind of being like, hey, this doesn't allow you to cheat, but it will help you study.
And I've built exactly that for my college that I went to.
So you see what I'm saying?
I haven't announced it yet, but I've already built that. And if you say, help me do my homework, it won't write the paper for you. It will show you how to.
Even they were even saying, like in the training, Max was telling me that even in the training, they were saying that that they're teaching them weird things to spot even. So you might think you're really good at ChatGPT. Well, the other kids are just doing it this way. I'm advanced, and you're still going to get caught.
Yes.
Hopefully, in a perfect world. Because I think that's very important, because I was concerned about that. Like, dude, look how much school costs per year for college. Are you just using ChatGPT or what's up?
Yeah.
So I'm glad to learn that the teachers are getting education, that they do have on-campus AI systems. Yes, you can use this, but if you use ChatGPT, you're on your own and it could be your ass.
But the last news story I looked at from tonight here in Houston on Channel 11, KHOU, if you want to go look it up, is about how next year the Houston Independent School District is rolling out how to use AI as part of the classroom. Yeah. I think it was as early as second grade. I was late.
I saw some it might not have been Houston, but some in Texas, that some schools that are all AI.
And other schools now that have rejected everything and gone back to paper for everything.
Yeah.
That's interesting too.
Yeah.
We got a big battle in front of us, Steve. We really do.
Well, I'm sure we can do a follow-up to this one in a couple months. I think that as we come out of the frozen tundra, I know not you in Houston, but the rest of us, as we come out of this frozen tundra, I think that spring will hit, and I think they're going to try and market AI huge again. I think we're going to see something around April, May. It's like, look at the world is different overnight. Look at this. And I'm not sure. I don't think it will be. But I think we'll have more conversations to be had. Again, guys, go check out Tom's book, or I don't know if they can.
The book's not there yet, but the new website's coming. The new you check out my Facebook page, check out my LinkedIn, check out.
So Tom will send me all those links. So if you're listening on the audio podcast, it'll be in the notes. If you're watching on this, hopefully it'll be in the notes tonight. If he sends them all to me tonight, I'll get them all in there. Because yeah, I mean, that's how you would follow it. It's just a pick of poison. I tell people that all the time too. You know, like I'm not a big Facebook guy. If you love Facebook, go follow Rideshare Rodeo on Facebook. I don't do as much on it, but you'll still be able to follow it.
Yeah, I like your Facebook picture. It says it says something like I'm on a Facebook break or something.
Oh, I'm
like
on hiatus.
Yeah, hiatus. Yeah, that's it.
And I've got it's the one where for Halloween I was being Hunter S. Thompson, so I've got one of those long stick cigarettes that he used to. I don't know what those things are called. But Tom, thank you very much, man. I love breaking the mold and talking about this. So
yeah, well, it all fits into the gig world. It really does, and the gig world is kind of made for this, and this is made for the gig world. So let's take advantage of it.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. I think that not always do we do this, but and by the way, we've been talking about my bid on service thing. I told you guys I was waiting for that right moment. Next Thursday, I have Lou and Mary from the Long Island Dash Experience. We're calling it the Long Island Rodeo Experience. And and we're going to be talking about that in depth. The bid on service, the cap on drivers, all the stuff that are ideas out there. They're not set in stone, but they're ideas that I've been working on for a long time. And with that said, you guys be safe out there. Have a great night. Tom, thanks for joining us. And, earn smart, hustle hard, be good to each other. Peace, y'all.
Kindness.